Hey everyone, it's Barb Teckle. It is Monday, September 21st. Tomorrow is our first full day of fall. Yay! I love fall. Of course, if you're in the southern hemisphere, you are moving into spring. So, I have tried to record this video for you today quite a few times already. So, I just got back from vacation, so perhaps my mind is still in vacation mode, but every time I tried to do this, I kept getting tongue-tied. So this is it. If I get tongue-tied, I'm going to still go with it. I don't care. We're going to get through this, right? So I'm just trying to get back into the groove. I had a beautiful week away in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. If you've ever been there, wow, what a beautiful place, huh? If you haven't, you must see it. There is so much to do, so many outdoor things that my husband and I were able to take part in. The many beautiful parks they have there, as well as a beautiful zoo. They're very supportive of artists, and their sculptures that change every week downtown and throughout Sioux Falls. Just absolutely beautiful. So my heart is full and my soul is replenished. So there should be no reason why I keep getting tongue-tied. All right, so here we go. I was laying in bed about 5 o'clock this morning. All of a sudden, my mind is starting to get excited about doing this reading for you. And I was thinking about, I wonder what deck I will work with today. And the one that popped into my head, and I'm sure it's because of the colors, because they kind of look like fall, is the Soul Coaching Oracle cards by Denise Linn, with the orange and the yellow and the gold. And this sort of looks like a sunflower, don't you think? But if you are, of course, in the southern hemisphere and you're going into spring, this could be a bright yellow happy flower as well. All right. So that would have been 2 weeks ago, I had you were able to pick your card that was specifically for you for the week. And that went over very well, so I thought, well, let's do that again. So I'll do an overall reading of the 3 cards, but I'll first do them individually, so you can pick. If you want to take a moment now to pick card 1, pick card 2, which is the middle, or the right is card 3. So do you have your number? 1, 2, or 3? All right, so if you pick card number 1, the card is Grace. And the message on the bottom says, I graciously accept the infinite love of the universe. And as I read that message, I see that as perhaps there is a situation in your life where you have perhaps forgotten that the universe has your highest good in mind. So is there a situation in your life that you are struggling against? And this card is reminding you that you have the other option and the other choice to move through a situation that feels challenging with more ease and more grace. And when you think about the swan, and I was able to see a beautiful black swan. How often do you get to see a black swan at the zoo that we visited in South Dakota? And they just glide so beautifully along the water. And you don't even know that all of this is happening underneath. You know, that they've got their little feet, their web feet underneath that's doing all the work, because you don't see that. We just see them glide down the river so effortlessly. So I think that's such a beautiful message, that I graciously accept the infinite love of the universe. That's something we can't see, and we can't see that it is working on our behalf, but we have to know and feel that. And trust that that it is working on our behalf. And then that helps us to move through whatever situation you may be facing that's difficult with more grace and more ease. So that's your card if you picked one. Card number 1. And then card number 2 is love. The message on the bottom says, I am wonderful. I receive and give love today and always. Now, immediately when I looked at this card, I think of love for self first. And if we don't first love ourselves, it makes it more challenging for us to, bring that love to a relationship, right? Whether that's with a human or with an animal friend. So I know this card depicts a relationship as love, but I'm still being called to say that perhaps for you, if you pick number 2, this is about loving yourself. And I think we have a world full of so many people that don't love themselves, that are really hard on themselves, and are beating themselves up for things that they shouldn't be beating themselves up for. We've all got things we need to understand about ourselves, and that's not a bad thing, because we're here to evolve and expand and grow. So perhaps for you, if you pick number 2, this is about how can you begin to heal that wound within yourself of those things you may not like about yourself, but instead turn that around and look at that as a gift and as an opportunity to heal what needs to be healed. And I'm also feeling called to the words, I receive and give love today. And I think so many of us have a hard time with receiving love. And that's because if we don't love ourselves, we think, well, how can anybody else possibly love us, and how can we accept what they have to offer us, right? So card number 3, if you chose that card, is truth. And the message on the bottom says, I live my truth. And when I'm looking at these 2 cards together, the grace and the love, if we can accept that the universe loves us, and if we can begin to love ourselves, it's that much easier to speak our truth. So if you pick number 3, there might be a situation in your life where you are feeling the need or the call to speak your truth, but you might have fear around that. So if you can remember that the universe does love you, and also love yourself enough to speak the truth of what you feel, because we all deserve to share our perspective. And I know it's tough in this world right now. I know it is, because we are so divided. But we can speak our truth in a compassionate and loving way. So again, if you pick number 3, there may be a situation where you're being called to speak your truth. And just know that you can do that it's okay. You absolutely deserve to say how you feel. And if you can, instead of coming from that wounded place within you, if you can come from that loving place within you when you speak your truth, it's going to be heard that much better. So then the other deck I worked with is the Nature Speak Oracle. I just felt called to bring in a little bit of nature for this week's reading as well, and I'm sure it's because I had the opportunity to spend so much time in nature last week, and it's so healing. And it's so refreshing and replenishing. So if you have the opportunity to do that more often, it definitely can refill the well. I can tell you that. So, and the card that I pulled is palm trees. And the message on the bottom says, apply past lessons. So when we look at grace, love, and truth, about loving ourselves, accepting that the universe has our highest good, and that it's okay to speak our truth. In the past, perhaps it wasn't okay for you to speak your truth or to love yourself, but that's what we've learned that from the past, that does not serve us for the good, right? And I also want to read the message from this card, that palm trees always provide protection for groups, especially those groups to which we belong. It's a tree that reminds us to remember the lessons of our past so that we do not repeat them in the present or future. Remember your past lessons, especially in group dynamics. I want to repeat that. Remember your past lessons, especially in group dynamics. The reason I wanted to repeat that is I think about how our world is so still divided, especially here in the U.S., which I can speak to. And if we are going to learn from the past, and I really think about how we are so divided as left or right. And when I really think about that for myself, I don't see myself as blue or red. I see myself as violet, because I really try to open myself to all the different perspectives, while at the same time, it's important to speak our truth. But it's, when we look at remember your past lessons, especially in group dynamics, we have shut ourselves down from opening to other perspectives, right? Because we've put this in, I just said right, we put this into a right or wrong category instead of being open to all of it. And that's what we need to take from the past and not do that in our future. So there is occurring a variation of something that happened in the not so distant past. Be cautious, be protective by remembering what worked and didn't work for you, and adjust your actions accordingly. Ask for the help from the angels, for they work strongly through the spirit of the palm. So lastly, I pulled in an animal card, again from the Archangel Animal Oracle deck by Diana Cooper. This is a perfect card to go with this full reading this week, and it is Shark. So I know a lot of times when people see shark, it instigates fear within them. But the message on the bottom says, lead as a powerful, peaceful warrior. And I love the words lead, powerful, and peaceful, because we can be powerful within our own lives. We can lead within our own lives, and we can do it with peace. It doesn't have to be violent, right? We can do it with peace. We can speak peace. We can walk peace. We can speak our truth with peace and compassion and love. Maybe I'm just a dreamer about all of that, but I think about applying past lessons. Obviously, the way we've done things haven't worked. So we have to move through this in a different way, through these very challenging times that we are going through in 2020. And as we approach fall, we are going in the last quarter of 2020. It's a big deal, with the elections coming up and everything. There was something else I wanted to say about this. Oh, lead as a powerful, peaceful warrior. I just wanted to share, I did an interview. I'm going to be part of the Animal Wisdom World Summit 2020 that is coming up October 12th and 13th, I believe, are the dates. I will definitely share a link to that on my Facebook page and in my newsletter. So if you are interested in listening to the speakers for that. But remember, Dr. Kara Cubbins is the host of that summit. And one of the questions that she is asking all the speakers, and that she asked of me as well, is if I feel I am a leader. And when she asked that of me, for so many years, I never saw myself as a leader. And I'm applying this here to lead as a powerful, peaceful warrior. And then in conjunction with this whole reading, is I didn't see myself as a leader. I had a hard time saying that I was a leader. And I remember when she asked me, I just had to pause and think about that, because sometimes it can still be hard for me to say that. And but I've come a long way. I know that. And I remember, I don't know word for word how I said that, in the interview, but I just remember saying, yes, I am a leader. And my definition of leader is living my life authentically and truthfully from the heart of who I am. That, to me, is what makes me a leader. And just sharing my passion of things that I love and that I believe in. I totally believe in oracle cards, and I love sharing the messages from animals. They have so much wisdom to share with us to help us walk this path of life that we are walking. So, I guess I just did lead as a powerful, peaceful warrior, right? So that is the reading for the week. I hope it was helpful. As always, if there is a situation that you are contemplating or having a difficult time with, and you would like some support with that, I do offer my personal oracle card readings. You can look that up on my Facebook page or on my website, and I'll share a link below in the description. Or if you are having a challenging time with a situation with a pet, I also have my Wisdom in the Paws, PAWS readings, and perhaps we can provide a roadmap for you as well to help you with that relationship, that perhaps there's something there that you're struggling with that you need some help with. So just wanted to mention that, and I hope you have a great week. Enjoy the first full day of fall tomorrow. It is going to be a beautiful one here in Wisconsin. And I will be back again next Monday with another reading. Take good care. Bye-bye.